Hey everyone, it is spooky month. A lot of you out there are probably a lot like me, really enjoy the month of October because it is the spooky month and you get to do spooky things. You get to set up spooky decorations around your house, and of course, it all culminates in a big Halloween extravaganza. If you did not know, I have a little bit of a infamy, if you will, of I set myself up every year as a madman with a chainsaw that sits outside my house, and I put full-size candy bars right next to me, and I sit very, very still, and I look like I'm part of the decorations. And then as soon as a child reaches for the candy bar, that's when I stand up and turn my chainsaw on. It's a fun thing, and it's part of Halloween, man. It's part of the things I really enjoy. But also one of the things I really enjoy about being around for October is I tend to play a lot of spooky games, if you will. I regularly take a break from my D&D campaign to run a Call of Cthulhu campaign, which I am running right now, and we're having a great deal of fun with it. And but also I tend to try to get out my horror themed or spooky themed board games. And I do think that some of them do it better than others. Obviously, there's the Arkham Horror, which, if you've known me from before, I'm a huge fan of the second edition version of that game. I really like Eldritch Horror as well. Both fantastic games that are a great deal of fun to play. And also, I've really started to enjoy Unfathomable with the expansion. I mean, it was good without the expansion, but the expansion really added a lot to it. And that takes the one of my all-time favorite games, Battlestar Galactica. It takes those rules and turns it into a Cthulhu world. There are some other games out there that I've maybe played once or twice that have a horror theme to them. Uh, I've dabbled with Nemesis, which is very, very good. I have played Nyctophobia. I have also there's there one of my kids' favorite games ever. Now I'm gonna forget the name of it right now, but I'll pop the box up over here. It's a game where you have to hide in the shadows because where the light is, and you have actual candles. And when we were kids, you actually have these little tea candles that you would light, and the light from that, you turn off all the lights in the room, and the shadows would go around it, and you'd have to navigate between the light and the shadow. And it was a fun little game that I play with my kids. I did not use candles when we played. I just used battery tea lights instead. But regardless, what I want, the whole point of this is, in my opinion, one of the greatest horror games that is out there has never, ever, ever, ever been published. But the nice thing is that you can get it for free. I guess, like, you don't have to buy it. Technically, you'd have to print and play it. So it'll take a little bit of money as far as printing off all the cards and the pieces and whatever, and then a little sweat equity, if you will. But that is this fabulous game. It's just called The Thing, and it's based off of one of my all-time favorite movies, and definitely my favorite horror movie of all time, The Thing. And it is a game that was created as a, like, I don't know, fan service, point of passion, if you will. I had a friend who was kind enough to actually print it off for me and made it for me because he knew how much I loved the game. And there have been several iterations of the thing, or based on that IP. There's even one based off of the original story called Who Goes There. Fantastic story. Even if you read the thing, read Who Goes There. There's actually some really good audio plays on YouTube you can track down, and those are really good too. But the reason why I feel like the other games based on the thing are fun, but this one to you. I actually did a video back in my whole board game video rules days. I did a video about it, talking about it. But one of the fantastic things about the game is that it does nurture this sense of dread and sense of unease between the players because you never know who is the good guy or the bad guy. At the very beginning of the game, you have one person that is designated as the thing player, but you are swapping cards with each other constantly. And the thing player can get cards into their hand that will infect other players. And as you swap cards, and you're forced to swap cards with the thing player, actions that the players take, and very very thematically, like having to pair up. They have to decide we need to like go and try to fix the helicopter. Okay, well, who's going to go do that? We need to go and try to, barricade the doors. Well, who's going to go do that? And you have to split up to do these actions. You not everybody can't go together to do it. And so, because the thing player isn't like a player that goes with, but he has been handing cards to the other players the entire time. And once a player becomes infected, they then immediately, their role is to try to infect everybody else. You can't just say, "I've been infected, kill me." Your victory conditions immediately change. And because the players have to decide who's going where and who's doing what, they start to really have unease as far as who's going to go and do whatever. And then you have those situations where it's like, well, you two have been going off and working together constantly, and you don't seem to have a problem with it. That probably means both of you are infected. So that we feel like we should absolutely keep you two working together constantly, doing those things. But then you have those arguments like, well, I haven't been infected yet, but I don't. I'm not. You're sending me suboptimal. Like I don't have the ability to fix the helicopter. Why are you sending me to go do that just because I'm with this person? This is ridiculous. We're not going to win. I'm not infected. And so it's a game that becomes of the conversation. And probably the best aspect of the game is the final ending. Now, there's ways that the thing player can actually win if they can complete the alien spacecraft they were the thing was making in John Carpenter's movie. They win the game because they are able to escape and theoretically infect the rest of the world. And but if all other ways to win don't happen, and there's even a way for the players to win by um, fixing the radio, surviving the storm, and calling in for a rescue. But the at the very end of the game, after all has been said and done, you have this moment where, uh, as a last ditch effort, they can basically say the players have to decide between each other: did we manage to either get rid of the infected players or stay uninfected the entire time? And whoever's still alive has to decide if we don't feel like we're infected, we can just hunker down, survive the winter, and leave. And if nobody's infected, we win and we also live. But if the players, and they all have to vote, and it has to be unanimous. If one person says no, we need to burn the place down. If the players decide no, we need to burn the place down, and you know let basically the harsh temperatures and the weather of Antarctica claim their lives, but save the rest of the world. They can choose to do that. But the trick is that if none of them are infected, the human players then lose. And I have played this game dozens of times. And that final moment, with some discrepancies, but that final moment, that final discussion between all the players has taken 20, 30, 40 minutes of discussion to get to that final decision. And let me tell you, being either the Thing player, just being able to watch it and see them try and knowing what's going on and hoping for a certain outcome, or being a player and like being like an infected player and like saying, no, we're fine. We're gonna this is silly. We're gonna lose if we burn down the place, that sort of thing. And that final discussion is amazing. So that's my kind of, hey, go check this out kind of thing. Um, you can find, if you go to boardgamegeek.com, you can find the print and play files are there, the rules, everything you need. You can download it, create it. I would strongly suggest it's not without its clunkiness. I mean, it definitely it's it needs like somebody who's got a lot of time on their hands and is willing to do some game development to like to sand off the rough edges. But it is a fantastic game, and maybe it's something you'd want to play next time you guys get together and decide you're gonna play a little spooky game night, if you will. What are the spooky games you like? Let me know in the comments below. And if there's something you'd like me to talk about, as always, just put that down below, and then I'll be happy to maybe make that the focus of the next Gray Fox Games YouTube video. Until next time, I'm Lance Meister. Take care of yourself.